Let's go. Reunion and Turnabout, Part 2-1, Trial. Wir stehen vor Gericht, meine Damen und Herren. Let's go. Kira als Franziska stirbt. Jesus Christ. Bitte nicht. Also nicht, dass ich Kiras Stimme nicht gerne jetzt hier hören würde als im Spiel, ja, beziehungsweise Synchronsprecher, aber Franziska ist halt einfach... ihr werdet es gleich sehen. What? Prosecutor von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred von Karma was a really sinister man. Es ging darum, dass du vielleicht nächste Woche, also, wer war das? Hier, Metal hat es vorgeschlagen, dass du Franziska von Karma synchronisieren kannst. Und ich habe gesagt, nee, bitte nicht, weil Franziska von Karma ist anstrengend und... Ja, weil ich gesagt habe am Anfang, nee, bitte nicht. Und das war halt nichts gegen dich, sondern eher, dass Franziska halt... Leute, Hot Pocket, was ist hier los? Nichts gegen dich, Kira. Es war... Oh shit, oh shit. Ah! So... Cup. Du bist auf dem Japan-Tag. Wir sind auf dem Japan-Tag, ja? Doch, natürlich sind wir da. Alter, Tickets sind ausverkauft. Leute, Schwarzmarkt, ihr wisst Bescheid. Nicht ins Gesicht. Guten Abend, ihr geistliche Elite Deutschlands. Hey, Don Potato. So, ich muss jetzt weitermachen. Wir haben heute volles Programm. Ja. Baller woanders rum. Komm. Psst. Psst. Ist Baller da? Nee, ich glaube nicht. Baller los. Oh, never mind. Schwarzmarkt, that's my home. Ja, ist doch so. Oder halt Nachmittagstickets, die gibt's ja auch. Und Trebo 1337, mein Namensvetter. Ich meine Regi 1337 Namensvetter. Willkommen zurück im 10. Monat. Danke dir, Sir. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, all so he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. Similar to Reggie Bang. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now, his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. Na Leute, wie stellt ihr euch Franziska von Karma vor? It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearly! You showed up! Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother's watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself. Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed the map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. What the hell? Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a tray-in? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. Oh shit. I still remember him as tough as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Alter. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them, but when you're rivals for life, Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone and he's not coming back. What? What happened to Edgeworth? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Yes. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Super Rising Storm! Objection! Einspruch! Vielen, vielen lieben Dank für 5 lange Monate der Treue. Nick? Regi-Hype, Regi-Sub in den Chat, Leute. So, 21. Juni, Punkt 10 Uhr. Pünktlich wie eh und je. Oh mein Gott, ist das von Karma? Ein Grill. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? What is with this kid? Ahem, Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hot Pocket? Sie 1:1 aus wie Hot Pocket, by the way. Sie hat die gleiche Haarfarbe. Hold on, so she is the famed successor to Prosecutor von Karma. I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany, that Cheffy, and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ah! Und ja, Leute, sie hat allen Ernstes eine Peitsche, mit der sie alle Leute im Gerichtssaal verprügelt. No joke. Sie hat eine Peitsche. Und whippt alle aus, die sie nicht mag. I'm talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Ah! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? It's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from the inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. Ah, and that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? Sir, ich habe mich auch gefragt, warum er sie Sir genannt hat. I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. Okay, floor plans, crime scene. Er hat Heard richtig ausgesprochen. Ich mache das schon seit 2 Streams, wenn es dir nicht aufgefallen ist. Keck. Fuck you! So how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time then. Cause of death. Was ist denn der Grund, warum hier jemand gestorben ist? The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Forehead. Ah, verdammt, ich habe vergessen, jetzt neue Better Twitch-Emotes zu enablen, weil ich eben noch meinen GPA-Kampf hatte. Huh. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point blank. Okay. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Ich glaube, die Verhöre in Teil 2 waren auch insofern schwieriger, weil, wenn du zum Beispiel eine Aussage gepressured hast, ja, sagen wir die erste Aussage, dann hast du die 5. Aussage gepressured, dann kann es sein, dass du die erste Aussage nochmal pressuren musst. Dieses Mal kannst du dann aber zusätzlich, weil du jetzt neue Informationen hast, weitere Dinge auswählen. Das hat Teil 2 auch für mich ein bisschen komplizierter gemacht. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints. There were fingerprints. Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Face, were also on the grip, sir. Yo, das kommt, glaube ich, in dem Fall zweimal vor oder so. Jesus. Huh. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. Ugh. I walked right into her hands there. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Was hast du eigentlich in deinem Studium gelernt, Phoenix? Jetzt mal ohne Witz. Burn. Stabbed? And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, Maya Faye's fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Hey, Tomatentoast! Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Point blank, ist das die Schläfe? Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. So, pistol, murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired, okay. Bears, Maya's, and Gray's fingerprints. Murder weapon, a small fruit knife, belongs to the face, bears Maya's fingerprints. Okay. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:50 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, Feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes. Even in the fact of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense because now would be the time to do so? This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I'd better think this through all the way. Natürlich ist sie nicht schuldig, hallo? Das haben wir herausgefunden. If you plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. Acquittal, so. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective? Yes, sir? Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... Ah! Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Incriminating evidence, okay. Worum geht's hier? Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Okay. Das ist natürlich jetzt ein Problem. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of backspray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Maya's costume. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. There are blood splatters on it. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix. Your tail between your legs. Anyway, what? Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Stellt euch mal vor, ihr werdet immer mit vollen Namen angesprochen. Das wäre irgendwie ein bisschen weird, oder? Gerade in Deutschland. Peitsche. Ksch, ksch. Ah! Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kinda scary today, you know, pal? Come now, Mr. Wright. There is no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. Alter, der Richter ist der Beste, wirklich. Der Richter ist der beste Protagonist im ganzen Spiel. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it is the victim's blood. Oh. Nee, nicht direkt King Vasai. Ich habe 2 Jahre gewartet. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from the piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Ah yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more, then I can chew here. What should I do? Let's press further. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. Ja, da ist ein Loch unten rechts. Seht ihr das? Beziehungsweise rechts am linken Ärmel. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it. Looks like my time is up, so about the costume. There's one little thing. Your Honor, actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? Well, what are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Das ist wahrscheinlich das Loch. Das ist das Einzige, was irgendwie auffällt. Ja. Harder. Mach eine Ausbildung, King Vasai. Würde ich dir empfehlen, ja. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? Huh? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Aber wie kommt die da hin? Hey, Makurumu. Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Press the check button for detail. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then no way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. The defendant attacked and killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Das kann nicht sein, diese Aussage, weil wie kommt denn ansonsten ein Loch hier rein, was offensichtlich eine Schusswunde ist? Ha! Gotcha! Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Fuck you!
Yes? Haha, having you call me by my full name is kind of weird, weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what? Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. It seems you're correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Ha! What is with that? Are you finished yet, love? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss von Karma. It seems that Maya Fey was shot by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. This is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Ah! Now that you... Why? That's right. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Ugh! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir. Right away, sir. What transpired? Okay. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Then the defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Wer ist nochmal gestorben? Ich weiß nicht mehr, wie er hieß. Wir können mal gucken. Dr. Turner Gray ist gestorben. This scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. Ein wahrer Mann, Peitsche hätte mehr. There is quite a difference in heat between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. Do you think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Kurine channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Kurine channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Sie peitscht eigentlich gerade gefühlt alle aus. So, he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterwards I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Sorry. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? So, you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt.
Yes! Yeah, my boy!
Pop-Clean! Vielen Dank für 8 Monate der Treue mit Twitch Prime. Ist, by the way, kostenlos. Danke für die Unterstützung, ja? Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me, I wonder. Now do you understand? The Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired bears Maya's and Gray's fingerprint. Aber wie kann er denn verfehlen aus so einer Entfernung? While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Wie kann das denn sein? Das ist der zweite Teil, Don Potato. Wie kann es denn sein, dass er verfehlt hat? Also wenn ich denen jetzt die Map hier zeige, ne? Die Floor Maps. Reicht das aus? Weil eigentlich kannst du ja aus so einer Entfernung nicht verfehlen. Never mind. Never mind! While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Wir haben halt hier auch noch das hier, ne? Folding screen. About 8 inches off the ground is a small... It's a small hole that looks like a bullet hole. An old steel key. Slapped into the chest, then shot at point blank. Gunpowder residue around bullet hole.